MTG Scoundrels, it's in the cardboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Weekly. Today on the docket, we have Eldrazi Ramp versus Eldrazi Tron. Getting things started off here with the Devourer of Destiny, looking at the top four in the pregame. Interesting selection here. Looks as though putting the K command on top and exiling 3 cards. Ooh. Alright, that's the start Eldrazi Ramp likes to see. Ugin's Lab into Talisman of Impulse on turn 1. Tower and Pass for the Tron player. There's a Forest. So we have 4 mana here on turn 2. Taking 1 off of the Talisman of Impulse. Placing Utopia Sprawl on the Forest. And there's a Malevolent Rumble. Ooh, finding a Sowing Mycospawn here. As well as an Eldrazi Temple, a Talisman. Taking the Sowing Mycospawn. And passing the turn. All this dust going under an Ugin's Lab and then casting a Glaring Fleshraker. So if there's 1 land in hand, there it is. At minimum, you could cast a 7-drop, or you could cast that Sowing Mycospawn you already cast. It looks like that's what's going to happen here. Sowing Mycospawn, getting cast. Exiling the Ugin's Lab. Oh man. Almost misfinding it as one of the cast triggers. Oh, why are you putting that E-Temple back in hand, bud? And then you're going to fetch? It's just one of those games, I guess. So we're at 18 to 20. There's a commercial district. That E-Temple should be in play, but it is not. So there could possibly be 10 mana on the board. Maybe even 12 mana if things were played correctly. This is the weird thing about Eldrazi Ramp, though. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. Here's a Sowing Mycospawn attacking in for 3. There's the E-Temple that should have been in play already. Alright, Utopia Sprawl going on the Forest. At least one of those sprawls has red. There is a Malevolent Rumble, so there is 1 mana floating. Sometimes you just go Sowing Mycospawn into Sowing Mycospawn. Probably overpaid for it, but does it really matter? In this case, not really. Sometimes you just Sowing Mycospawn, finding a Sanctum of Ugin off of that one. It looks like that's going to stay on the battlefield instead of going to hand. And that is the frustrating thing about playing into these Eldrazi Ramp decks, is sometimes they just get to play cards and you lose. Tack it in. That'll bring us to 18 to 11. And there's a Karn the Great Creator in hand. There's Karn. Finding probably a liquid metal coating. In fact, there it is. That'll just get played here. And passing. In the upkeep, tapping down the tower. There's another tower. Fleshraker coming in. That's going to get blocked by an Eldrazi spawn. And then, yeah, it looks like it's also going to get sacked to a K command here. And scooping him up. That'll be it for game 1. Going to Eldrazi Ramp. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're on our way to 500 subscribers and hopefully 1,000 after that. So definitely hit that subscribe button, hit like on the video, and comment down below. Helps us improve what we're doing. Looking at game 2, in terms of sideboarding decisions here, Eldrazi Ramp probably bringing in Stone Rains, even though it really doesn't feel great in this matchup. The Eldrazi Tron list is very good at just hitting the 7 mana consistently. And Eldrazi Tron probably bringing in Stone Brains of some form. So really what sets up Eldrazi Tron to be the ultimate winner is Karn into Ensnaring Bridge, because there's only so many ways the Eldrazi Ramp players can deal with artifacts on the battlefield, funny enough. Especially in recent iterations. If you think about it, it's really maybe a Dismember or 2 if there's 1 in the board, or the 1 World Breaker. And other than that, like, you can't activate Haywire Might into a Karn the Great Creator. So your other option is to land your own Karn, uptick on the Ensnaring Bridge, and exile it with a K command, which is in fact a lot to set up. Moving over to our ads, definitely check out our friends. And in this video, Arcane Artistry, they're playing Eldrazi Tron. They make wonderful food, clue, and treasure tokens in the stained glass style. Etsy link in the description below, and definitely check them out. They've been featured over on the Spike Feeders as well as EDH Hijinks in recent weeks, if you want to see their tokens in action. Otherwise, they tend to be on this channel as well. Also, check out our friends Grove Warden Games, hosts of our channel, sponsors of our channel, a wonderful place to storm out. Link to their TCG player is in the description, as well as their storefront. And of course, check out our friend Sean Gerard, wonderful friend and artist of this channel. Their information is up here on the screen, QR code, as well as their email in the description if you're looking for art projects for either your business or personal. Definitely give them a look. And last but not least, check out our socials. We're at MTG Scoundrels on Blue Sky, Facebook, and Twitter. Definitely give us a look and give us a follow over there. Banter with us on some Magic the Gathering items. And yeah, just come over and say hello. We appreciate all of you. All right, moving into game number 2 here. Eldrazi Ramp being on 6. Ooh, double Devourer of Destiny for the Eldrazi Tron player. What to keep on top, or do you get rid of all 4? All right, getting rid of an Ugin's Lab here. That looks like a Thought-Knot Seer in there. Getting exiled, another Ugin's Lab, and a tower going away. There's a tower, there's a map, passing. There is a Stone Rain. In this sense, it might be a little slow. Ooh, no turn 1 play. That's a bit rough. It can be a bit slow into Tron matchups. Two mana into a Malevolent Rumble. Probably finding a land here. Though taking a hard look at that Utopia Sprawl. Yep, taking the basic forest. Of course, a spawn being made. End step. Tron doing what Tron does. Cracking a map, finding the missing Tron piece. Urza's tower, Urza's mine, Urza's power plant. Drawing for turn, 7 mana. There's Karn the Great Creator. The important piece for Eldrazi Tron in this matchup. Finding liquid metal coating. And the coating will be cast. Activating. Ooh, in response to the activation. We have a K command, looks like X equals 1. So making a dude, scrying 1, drawing 1. Looks like that was a Karn the Great Creator. And drawing a card. Then drawing a card for turn. There's a Stone Rain. Hitting the tower. But at this point, the lock pieces are set. Your E-Temple is probably going to get destroyed. There's an Eldrazi Temple. And there's a Glaring Fleshraker. Followed up with an Expedition map. That'll make a dude. Ping the Eldrazi player for 1. Brings the 19 to 20. Liquid metal coating. Going to activate, targeting the Eldrazi temple. Karn will uptick, which will turn that Eldrazi temple into a 0/0, which will die immediately. Two mana for a rumble. Taking a Shifting Woodlands here. And of course making an Eldrazi spawn. Playing the Shifting Woodland, passing the turn. This is a tough spot for the Eldrazi Ramp player, but ultimately, if I was the Eldrazi Tron player, I would just keep taking out lands. Map's going to get cracked here, probably finding another tower. So, 7 mana available. At this point, you probably just cast one of your 7 drops. You have 2 Devourers in hand. Liquid metal coating. Gonna get rid of the red source. In Stomping Ground. And there's the Devourer, that's gonna deal 2 damage. That'll bring us to 17 to 20. The Flash Raker is going to get in. That'll be 15 to 20. And just sitting there with 3 mana. Ooh, Talisman off the top. That's tough. And that'll do it. Game number 2. Going to Eldrazi Tron. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're on our march to 500 subs. And thank you for watching so much of our video. So something I don't always bring up in all my videos, or at least I used to, and I've gotten a little lax about it. Of course, our deck lists are in the description below. You can also find links to other videos. And if you go check out our channel, you can, if you're interested in more Eldrazi content, we have playlists specifically tied to deck styles. So definitely give that a look. And of course, check out our last video, which was Temur Oculus versus Black White Blink. Talk about a deck that is definitely not seen as much play as of late. It was much better in the meta when Underworld Breach was the powerhouse of the format once Mox Opal got unbanned. And since the banning of Breach, has had a rough time. But still sees some play here and there. And occasionally puts up some good results because Flickering Overlord is pretty solid. Looks like both players starting to move towards game number 3. Eldrazi Ramp on the play. Starting off with a Wooded Foothills getting cracked into a Utopia Sprawl. Being that the Eldrazi Ramp player taking 3 here, I would assume that Sprawl is on green. Temple and pass. There is also an Eldrazi Temple. And of course the pass here is a tell that K command is in hand. And there's an Eldrazi Temple and pass. End step. As predicted, Kozilek's command. Making 2 dudes. Scrying 2, drawing 1. And 3 types in the bin. There is a Sire of 7 Deaths on top. Oh, and there is an Ugin's Lab in hand, it looks like. There's the E-Temple. There's the E-Temple. There is the Sire. And passing the turn. End step. K command. Making 2 dudes. Scrying 2, drawing 1. Turn 3 Sire of 7 Deaths is a pretty strong play here. Tough situation to be in, though, if somehow Ensnaring Bridge is found. Putting a couple bottom, drawing a card. Untapping, drawing. There's an Ugin's Lab. Ooh, putting a Sire of 7 Deaths of their own underneath. A lot of thinking here. Four mana into Karn. More than likely finding Ensnaring Bridge here. In fact, there it is. Untapping. Another Eldrazi Temple. Sire 7 Deaths. Gonna get rid of the Karn here. Gaining 7 life. We'll be at 24 to 20. There's a Talisman. There's a K command on the end step. Making dudes and scrying. Drawn for turn. Land for turn. There's a Fleshraker. We know there's a bridge in hand. You kind of have to land bridge here. Speaking of, there's 3 mana. And Ensnaring Bridge. That'll be a cast trigger, deal 1 damage. We'll be at 23 to 20. And passing. Okay. There's an Ugin's Lab exiling, or specifically imprinting, the Emrakul the Promise End. So that means there must at least be a second in hand. Oh, and there's a World Breaker there as well. Will the Eldrazi Ramp player overthink it? Okay. There's an Emrakul the Promise End. In response, dismember targeting their own token. So I'll bring them to 23 to 16. Emrakul player will take the turn of the Eldrazi Tron player. Oh my, land double Karn the Great Creator and a glaring Fleshraker. Will they see the line? The clear line here, with 4 cards in hand, is you need to play the Karn plus the Karn on the bridge, and then you can attack in with the Fleshraker and the bridge, having 3 cards in hand. And that bridge will be in the graveyard, so that means that the Karn can't go get it with the minus. If it's taking this long, the Ramp player probably overthinking it here. There's a lot of stress that comes with playing Emrakul the Promise End, as much as most people would look at this situation. Alright, playing a land. As much as they would look at this situation and think, oh, you have Emrakul, you win the game. Sometimes you can just outthink yourself and just do the wrong things. So playing the land here makes this a little bit more difficult. Probably should be putting that Sire into hand. Okay, casting a card. 22 to 16. But now there is not 3 cards in hand. You can't minus anything here. Oh no, the Eldrazi Ramp player overthought it. And now they definitely don't see the line. At this point, and you're really relying on finding your own Karn. So Fleshraker's going to attack in. The Sire's going to block. That'll put us to 29 to 16. Cracking stuff, playing another Karn. Overthought it. Oh no. Overthought the situation. Minus the Karn to find nothing. Fleshraker still in hand. And passing the turn. Oh no. Drawing for turn. Oh, there's the Thought-Knot Seer. That's going to find the World Breaker and exile that. So unless you can find your own Karn and have a Cake Man, there's not any way out of this. The Eldrazi Tron player just looking in the sideboard to see if there's something to possibly get here. But they are also unlimited mana as well. There's a Mystic Forge. Casting the Glaring Fleshraker and passing. So unless that line is seen here, this Ramp player's in a difficult spot. Oh, they're thinking about putting the Emrakul in hand. That's kind of what you have to do. In case you top deck a land, then you can cast the Emrakul again. Oh, there's a Utopia Sprawl. That isn't going to do it. Not enough mana here for the Emrakul. And there it is. That'll be game, set, match. Going to Eldrazi Tron. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend, and we will see you all next week.